This week's episode is brought to you by Human Sound Studios.
Welcome to the Untamed Podcast. I'm Juan.
And I'm John.
And we are here for episode 7.
Episode 7.
Siete.
You know, it's July 7th right now, right?
Is it really?
Yeah. It's dumb, but good.
And it's also 7 o'clock.
Is it really?
Episode 7.
Damn.
7 o'clock.
Isn't that like
July
a
7th.
winning lottery thing or something? Or slot machines when they all hit 7?
Ding, 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 ding. That's how I win.
Yeah. It's when you win what is it, the grand prize?
Yeah.
Jackpot?
Yeah, the
millions
jackpot.
Of dollars.
You have to bet high to get the jackpot, though. That sucks.
Dude, the last time I was in Vegas when I was in the airport, I was just like playing a slot machine and I was like, jackpot is at like $500,000. And immediately my mind went, what would I do with $500,000? And then
last time I went to
I
Vegas,
ended up not winning anything.
Last time I went to Vegas, I limited myself to $300
for like the whole trip to just like your gamble money.
To gamble, yeah.
I think that's the smartest way to do it. You gotta be like, I'm gambling with this money.
And I put it in my first 20.
Mm-hmm.
I played for like 15 minutes, and I won $600.
There you go.
And
now
then
the question is, did you bank that $600 and only play with your $300?
I banked it. I came home with like $1,200, dude.
Nice.
Because I kept winning. I went to a different game.
Nice.
And I kept my ticket for $600.
Yeah.
And I kept that, and then I just used the money that I had, and then I won like another $300, and then I went to a different game and I won like I think it was like $400 or $500.
That's
on
pretty
the other
damn
one.
good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like at that point you're gonna be like, all right, I'm out.
It was, yeah. I mean, I was there for another 2 days, so I was kind of like, I don't know what to do right now. But I had self-control.
The most I've won has been like $50 and immediately went and bought just like a beer and a glass of whiskey and then some Burger King and then got on my flight.
Burger King.
It was in the airport. It was the closest thing.
Yeah. It's so easy to lose that money.
Yeah.
I did the Game of Thrones one, even though I'd never watched it. I did the.
You've yet to watch it.
I did the slot
for it?
The slot machine. And
did you win anything from that one?
No.
Oh,
I didn't.
Well,
it took all my
when
money.
you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
It even took my leg. It took my life.
It took your life. They said you win or you die.
Yeah.
And apparently you didn't win, so
I did not.
No. Well, either way, it's the 4th of July weekend. Did you have a good 4th one?
It was okay.
Did you do anything special?
Did
you blow shit up?
No, I did not.
Well,
I had to work on the 4th of July, so like,
oh damn,
because I work overnight, my my day off for the holiday was technically the night before, Wednesday night, because it goes into the 4th. Yeah, so I went to my friend's little party thingy, and that was it. And I went and saw Spider-Man. I saw Spider-Man.
Yeah?
Yes.
Dylan went to see Spider-Man. He works at a theater, so he got to see the pre-screening for it. He said it was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It was really good. It was awesome.
Maybe I'll watch it. Probably not, though.
Dude, I drank this coffee right now, and it's making me so phlegmy.
So phlegmy?
Like the phlegmiest.
It's it's a Starbucks one, right? It's one of those like double shot things. The canned
ones.
Yeah.
It was like drinking
Is it all like flavored,
a
like
whole
vanilla
can of
or like
almond milk, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was vanilla. It didn't
why
even taste
black
like
coffee's
coffee.
The best. Yeah, it probably tasted just like cream and sugar and vanilla. So coffee's the last ingredient on there.
Yeah, 2 drops.
Technically, it's coffee.
Would you like some coffee with your cream?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I'm coming back from vacation, so I'm still a little slow.
We missed Newfound Glory and Real Friends came to town.
Really? What day were they
I
here?
think it was today.
Well,
either today or yesterday, one of those
Where
two.
At?
In Phoenix.
Oh, so they didn't come to town.
No.
They came to
they
state.
came to close enough.
Yeah, it's a close enough drive for it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the video from have you ever listened to Have Heart? They're like a hardcore band.
Mm-mm.
Oh, they had a reunion show at the Palladium, how the hell you pronounce it? It's in their hometown. They had like a reunion show, and there's like 9,000 people there or something. It was like an outdoor venue. It looks nuts, dude. Yeah, they're a really good band.
So nuts.
So nuts.
How nuts?
So nuts.
How many nuts?
Like, the shirts that have like a picture of the like screamer like yelling, and then it's got just surrounded by like a bunch of crowd people who are all like screaming.
Yeah,
those are like the t-shirt moments. I watched a video, and the whole like set or the whole like song was just a full like t-shirt moment, just like that kept going.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just everyone was there. Just like I really love those when like you can see the whole crowd just singing along.
Really,
and you can hear them really well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought it was cool. It looks like fun, but it was in like, I don't remember. It's in another state, whatever their hometown is.
I binged all of season 3 of Stranger Things.
Oh,
within like a whole day.
How was it? You were sending me snaps of it,
dude.
I'm gonna be. I still have yet to. I've only seen the first episode.
I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Okay.
With you right now. Go for it. I cried.
Yeah?
I cried like a bitch at the end.
Someone die? Are they making another season? Or is it the end? I
can't say if somebody died because then
so someone
it's
died.
too soon. You know what I mean? Like, people are going to be like, damn, spoiler.
It's a show. You had enough time to binge it. And by the time this comes out, people have had enough time to binge it.
True.
It'll be fine.
But also...
I fucked my mic that way.
But also, not everybody doesn't
like binges shows that
prioritize binging shows like I do.
I suppose that's true.
Luckily, it came out like on my day off. You know what I mean? Like it came out the 4th, which I had to work, but I watched most of the day, and then I went to work, and I came home and I watched the rest of it the whole fucking day.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really good.
I couldn't remember which snaps you sent me because we were just talking about you sending me snaps of you watching Star Trek.
Yep.
And that whole since Thursday, it's all been a blur. I've been on vacation at like a resort thingy.
Hey, I also watched 20 whole episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah, I know.
That was yesterday.
That's insane.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, so that whole thing is a blur. So when you were like, I watched all Stranger Things this week, I was like, cool, what day was that? Because I've been the last 4 days all bleed, and so I'm just... That and I was drinking at the resort.
Yeah, where were you again?
El Conquistador. It's like a resort in town owned by like Hilton or someone. But I just stayed there with the family. It's like in northern, like over by Oro Valley, like pretty close to the mountains. But
is it like a golf resort?
Kind of, yeah. They've got like golf stuff around, but then they've got like a big pool and restaurants and.
Do they have a spa?
Yes, they've got a spa.
A spa?
Yeah.
Did you go to the spa?
No, I didn't go to their spa. I just went and like hung out. They have like a where we were staying. We're staying off the main hotel and like their casita stuff. So they have a separate pool and a separate like hot tub and stuff over there. So I hung out there.
Cool.
Less people.
Sick.
Yeah.
Super sick.
It was good. Other than TV shows, did you do anything else this week? And work?
No. Well, editing obviously, but I've been like, I don't know, for some reason just kind of.
How are the editing projects coming along?
Well, I'm still doing the wedding.
Oh, still?
I'm like very slowly like coming along on that wedding. And the thing is, dude, like I get that I have to get it to them, you know, but at the same time, like this is why I don't like to do weddings, because they're just like boring to edit. Boring for me, you know, like when I do my photography, like we talked about in the first episode. Yeah. I like to be creative. I like to think about.
I feel like you get more creative freedom with that.
And that's why, like, if I have creative shoots to edit, then I will like jump on those right away. But with the wedding, for one, there's so much. For two, like, I can't get creative with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta just like
gotta
straight
keep it
up
as natural as possible.
Yeah.
And also the whole like church lighting situation. Oh my god! Like I literally want to stick a fork in my toe. It sucks. It sucks. I'm not happy with it. I'm happy with the pictures I took outside.
Right, but you're not happy with the lighting
when I had like
inside.
Natural light and stuff. But when I had to use my flash and all that, I'm not happy with those photos.
Yeah. I feel like all you can do at this point is just learn for the next time you have to do something in shitty lighting like that.
How about I just don't do it? You know?
Then you get better at your skill, though.
I guess. I do have an event coming up on the 20th where I'm probably going to have to use the flash again.
What, like a picture, like meet event thing?
No, it's a family reunion.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. And my friend, a coworker is having their family in from Chicago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't really know what to expect, but she's like renting like this huge house up in Phoenix, and yeah. And I asked like what time it was at or whatever, and I have the flash and I really don't want to use it, but it's gonna be dark. It's gonna be dark outside, and it's gonna be outside and inside. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to use it. I was like, maybe I should just grab the strobes and like set them up. But then I don't know. I feel like it's overkill. That's too much.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it all depends.
Well, like just imagine being at a party
and having
having these
photo
big
booth.
old fucking like like outside, dude, by the pool and shit. You know?
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just. I bought the fucking speed light for a reason, so I'm gonna fucking use it.
Use it. Yeah. Well, I mean, if anything, you'll just get better with it.
Luckily, the one I bought has like ETTL, which is like an automatic setting.
Like adjustment?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So like it'll adjust to your
like
settings.
Preset.
But it's still hard because you have to underexpose your pictures to use the lights. So like I can't
know what that
so
means.
okay, so when I'm getting my settings on my camera, you know, you have the aperture. The mic literally went into my teeth. Dude. You have the aperture, which is the how much light the lens lets in.
Yeah.
And then you have your ISO, which is a fake light that the camera generates.
So
and then you have the shutter speed.
Okay, gotcha.
So each setting there's 3 different settings. Each one changes the exposure. If I turn up the shutter speed, it's gonna get darker.
Okay.
If I turn down the shutter speed, it's gonna get brighter. Same thing with the aperture. If I turn it down all the way, it's gonna get brighter because it's gonna let in more light.
Yeah.
If I turn it up, it's gonna get darker. ISO, I bring it down, it's gonna get darker. The higher it gets, it's gonna get brighter.
Right, yeah.
So you have to like
play with all of them. Yeah.
Yes. So expose your image between what you're trying to accomplish in the photo.
Yeah.
But if you're using a flash because it's not dark enough, you can't expose your image.
Yeah.
The way
is that
you
why you see
it.
people taking like test shots with the thing and then like adjusting and take another?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you can adjust between those
and like
shots.
I adjust even when I'm doing natural light because I'm just like, oh well, it'll look better if I turn this up or did this and you know, it took me a long time to like learn all the settings and be like, I want this depth perception, so I'm going to take my aperture all the way down to
Right. You got to learn how it's going to affect your photos.
Right. But when you're using the flash, you literally have to underexpose. So if you were taking a picture without that flash, it'll just be black.
Right. Because you're going to get such a crazy surge of light with the flash.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Sounds complicated, but
it
makes
is.
sense.
It is. But you know what? I've come a long way since I like first started.
Yeah.
Like when I first started, I was like, a what? Like, you know, like.
Yeah.
What's an ISO, dude?
It's an ISO.
An ISO.
No, I feel you. It's the same way with recording.
And then you also have to be careful too, because if you
mic placement. Huh?
I'm sorry?
Nothing. I said I feel the same way with recording. Like when you start, I'm like, what's mic placement?
Oh.
How do you do all this shit?
Yeah.
But anyways, continue.
You just have to be careful with how you do your settings, because like, let's say if your shutter speed is too low and you are taking a picture of somebody moving, then it's going to get motion blur and it's not going to look good.
Yeah.
Or if you turn your ISO too high to get the proper exposure, but then ISO also creates grain.
That's what I was going to say, it look more grainy.
And the grain sometimes is not fixable. Sometimes it's grain is just so bad, like it's so hard to fix.
I feel like though, like if you're doing like a wedding or something, you don't want any of that. But I feel like if you're doing something creative, you could be like, I'm going to use this effect like the grain of it. You could use it as like a creative tool.
Well,
you know I mean? I know that when I do this, I'm going to get more grain out of it. So if you're looking for that.
Like, no, I will add, I add the grain in post.
In post?
Yeah.
Got you. But there's no, grain. I was just trying to think about how that could be a positive. You know what I mean?
I guess. So you can use it to your advantage, but definitely coming out of the camera, you don't want that grain.
Got you.
Because then you will lose quality of the image. If you add the grain later, then it'll like have that texture that you want in the photo.
I just pictured like a hardcore band like photo that's in like black and white and it's got all the crazy
like
shit
that picture I posted of that model. That was sitting on the stairs.
Yeah.
I added like a fuck ton of grain to that.
Gotcha.
And you can't really like tell, like when you zoom in, you can see it like on her skin. It's all grainy, right. But she's so far away that it's not. It's just the whole image is kind of has like that texture.
Got you.
That like harder, like grungier style, I guess, you know?
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. Dude, I'm so phlegmy, dude.
Should take care of that.
What if I want to take care of you first?
I don't know about that.
Anyways.
Our episode of the Gefilte Show came out today, something like that. I think it came out yesterday. I'm not positive, though.
I'll have to go listen to it.
But yeah.
Everybody needs to go listen to that.
Yeah, go listen to the episode. I think it's episode 30-something. It's on the Gefilte Show. It's on Apple Podcasts and YouTube and stuff. But Juan and I went over and did a solid episode.
We were guests.
Yes, we were guests on his show.
Guests? Is that how you said it?
Guests.
Guests.
Guests?
Yeah, we're guests.
Yeah, but it was a fun episode. But it's out now, so go listen to it.
Sick. I'm so excited to hear it.
I started listening to it. It's pretty good so far. I've only listened.
I just want to hear minutes. Like the progression of like at first I was kind of nervous and just like we were quiet and like meh.
We were super professional at the beginning, and then as you get into it, we just get dumber.
That's what happens when you talk to me for
an hour and a half. Oh man.
Yeah. Anyways. Did you do anything else other than your vacation?
Just been working on studio stuff, really. Been working on new Desert Fish stuff. I had on one of the new songs we feature a different artist who came in and laid down some vocals this week, which I'm stoked for. Yeah. I'm not gonna say who it is yet, but they're featuring on one of the new DF tracks. We're getting pretty close with those. We got a couple more like instruments to lay, and then we're just moving on to effects and stuff like that and mixing. So we should have it soon. I worked with Zach for ZC Keeley earlier today, and then I'll be working with him again. That track's almost done. It's about to be sent to the mastering house, and then Minutes to Midnight's coming later today.
The mastering house?
Yeah, it's called the mastering house. Like, so like I'm doing the recording and the mixing, and then to get the final polish on everything and bump it up to like commercial volume and like kind of get a little, it's basically like if you had like a gemstone or something and it's like almost done, then you give it to mastering and they do the final polish on it and like make it, just clean it up and make it that last little, 10% forward. And then they also bring it up in volume so that way it's commercial level.
Sick.
Yeah. So that one's
how
about to get
often
sent
do you
off.
have people polish your stones?
Not very often. Often enough though. God damn it. Anyways, Minutes to Midnight's coming in later today. We're working on some guitars and shit, and then I'm trying to just look at my board. Got hit up by some new bands that I scheduled out. Did I do anything? Oh, DF booked some new shows.
I saw that.
Yeah, we're playing
August.
Yeah, playing August 21st with Catchafia and Earthcry, and I think another band at the Marquee in Phoenix. So we'll have tickets to that soon.
That's a big score, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be
the Marquee is
awesome.
Huge.
Yeah, the Marquee's dope. I haven't played there yet. I think it's a little bit bigger than the Rialto, which I love playing the Rialto, so hopefully, depending on how much stuff is backlined and all that kind of crap, should be a good amount of stage room.
That's awesome.
Hopefully
dude.
A good crowd. We'd like that show to sell out, so as you do with all shows, but especially when it's in a big room, because if it doesn't, then you can see a lot of the empty space, but if it sells out, then it's fucking crazy.
Like packed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is always nice. Like we played the Rialto with Steel Pulse, and that show was sold out or really close to it. And like when you could walk out on the stage and the floor is full, and you look up and the balcony is full, and you're just like, oh shit, there's a lot of people out here.
Yeah.
And it always feels like more, even though like we played a beer fest to like 6,000 people that were there at this fest. It was a big outdoor thing, so like not all 6,000 people are sitting right in front of you.
Right.
Like everyone is waltzing around this huge thing, and we're like at the end playing it. So like that's probably the biggest thing that we've done, but didn't feel like as big as the sold out Rialto show.
Right, because then you're just kind of like, you don't know if everybody's really listening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at those shows, you're
like when I went to
1,200 people
Tour,
that are all staring at us.
Yeah, like at Warped Tour, there was fucking like, it was like 6 freaking stages or something, and then everybody's just kind of walking around trying to scramble.
Yeah, trying to get to all the bands they want to see in time.
And most of the bands that I wanted to see were played at the same time.
Dude, I hate when that happens.
I had to pick. Or like I was with Brendan, so like Brendan wanted to go see Knuckle Puck, and I wanted to see Kublai Khan, and we fucking had to go our separate ways.
Yeah.
Have you listened to Kublai Khan?
Yeah.
Dude, they're
gnarly, dude.
They rip, dude. Rip. Anyways,
twangy.
yeah, so twangy, dude. So fucking twangy.
So twangy.
Oh, I have a bone to pick with our listeners, dude.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, okay, so people, since the podcast was like officially released and we like been promoting it finally.
Yeah.
I've had more than one person message me and tell me, I didn't know that your username was pronounced Juanold. What? They were like, I was like, what did you, like?
What did you think?
I don't know. And because they said that it didn't click until I said like Donald Duck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Donald Duck, Juanold.
Yeah. And then they were like, it's just.
I don't understand. Like
the little light bulb.
Yeah.
I don't know how else you would pronounce it, though.
At least 5 people.
Like, I don't know how else you would pronounce it. Like, looking at it.
Juana, LD. I don't know, dude. I have no clue.
Juanold.
So I'm just like,
oh, that's funny.
I was just kind of in shock of how many people said that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so,
well, now they know.
One person said it, and I was like, haha, yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And then a second person, I was like, haha, yeah, you know? And then... And then the third person, I'm just like, okay, like, why?
Apparently this is a thing.
Why?
Yeah. Who fucking knows?
I don't know. I have a friend, his last name is Kincaid, and for years, like, every time I would read it, I would say in my head, Kinacid. And I don't know why. That's just, like, naturally in my brain. I had to, like, literally just, like, look at it. Dude, I think I am. Honestly, I think I am.
It's possible.
It is. My parents won't let me get tested for dyslexia.
I feel like you're old enough. You can just go to the doctor.
Shut the fuck up.
Like,
it doesn't matter anymore. I'm old enough to where it doesn't
even matter.
You just read a book and sound like an idiot, you know?
Just read out loud in front of the class and just go slower than the rest of the class. It's fine.
Like that anxiety when they're reading in class and you have to like count how many people are in front of you so you know which paragraph is yours to read.
And you read it.
And you read it over. You're not even listening to the rest of the freaking whatever. You're just
and then it comes, because you're doing that, it comes time for you and you don't know that it's you yet.
Yeah.
No, I have this like, I have this thing with my hands where they shake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not crazy, but it's like inherited. Like my grandfather does it, my dad does it. I don't know what it is, but like they just kind of shake a little bit. It's not Parkinson's, but
are you Michael J. Fox?
Yeah. But no, it's very minimal, but it's pronounced if I'm holding a piece of paper or something because I'm moving slightly here, but up here the paper's moving a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I'd give a presentation in class, people were like, "Why are you so nervous?" I'm like, "I'm not nervous. It just looks like I'm up there just like shaking and freaking out."
Dude, that happened when I was giving a speech at my friend's wedding years ago. Years ago. I was like 19. And I had this whole speech typed up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like shaking so much, I ripped the paper in front of everybody. And I'm excuse me. And I'm trying to like put it back together so I can read it. And I'm like, you know what? Like, I was like I'm going to do this off the top.
There you go.
Here we go. Turned into like a freaking stand-up comedy set because I had no idea what the fuck I wrote down, dude. And I was just so like, funny. Yeah. And people were like, "Hey, awesome speech." And I'm like, "Thanks."
Cool. That was so planned.
Planned. I ripped it and I was like, gonna improvise.
Like, he didn't even write anything on that page.
And then I
just went in and planning to just fuck it.
And then I went, from satisfaction.
Yep. That's what that noise means generally. Usually. Usually. Oh, did I talk about the last F1 race on the last podcast?
You did.
I did?
Yes, you sure did.
Mm-hmm. I just wasn't sure. I can never remember.
With your...
Yeah, with the cars. Yeah.
Me. Yep. That's how I imagine races going.
There was no race this weekend.
Did they have a Toyota race?
Not in F1, no.
Because I saw I didn't know if it was F1, so I saw like a picture of my car, the Toyota, and it was like in a pit stop.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. And then
they might have them in like F2 or like an FE or in some
There's
of the other,
more?
Like, yeah. F1 is like the top, and then they have F2, Formula 2, they have Formula 3, they have Formula E, which is electric cars, and then they have like other like styles of racing. So they have like the drift competitions and stuff. Like, I get drift around the whole track.
I understand. So like, hey, that's too much. You know what I mean? Like, F1, cool. Drifting, cool. NASCAR, okay.
And they've got the IndyCar.
Dirt racing, whatever the fuck. Sure.
Oh, fuck. I can't remember what that's called. The dirt racing. Where they have the dirt tracks.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Drag strips? Okay. But F1, F2, F3, F8, F fucking
FE.
FF? No.
Well, it's how you work your way up to F1.
I don't want that.
So like kids like will start karting when they're younger and like start working.
That FZ?
No. It's actually not a thing. I don't know what it's called. Anyways, they start like when they're younger doing like go-karts and like getting into the souped up ones.
Is it rated E for everyone?
Yes. And then and then you get into like doing the junior racing and whatever, and then eventually become like an F3 racer or something. And then if you do well enough, the team will be like, "Yo, we're hiring you to go to F2, or we're promoting you up to F1 or whatever it is."
Yeah.
You sign contracts and get moved into higher teams depending on how good you are.
Right. I had to.
But yeah.
Could you not, dude? Could you hear that?
Yeah, it sounded like the door.
My headphones off. I had to take my hat off, dude.
Yeah, I think I'm
just gonna stop bringing my hat.
Stop. You know what I mean, you can wear it, but then just take it off before we start. That's what I did.
I just got pat.
It's way too uncomfortable. Your weave.
Pat the weave. Yeah. So, baseball. Hashtag baseball. We swept the Rockies, and I'm so excited. And
I did not know that was going on. So,
sorry, we killed, dude. I think one of the games was
I've heard the Diamondbacks have been doing pretty good.
Well, we just got a new pitcher, and he's like
killing it,
dude. Yeah, today he played 6 innings and he had no hits.
Nice. Is he a guy who throws like really fast, or does he do like a lot of different things? He's like a curveball chain. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Okay, I like that style of pitching more than just a dude who just is a cannon.
Another thing though is like he works really fast on the mound. So like he throws a pitch, makes the play or whatever, and then he gets the ball back and he's ready. He's right up on the rubber. You know, he's ready to go.
That's cool.
He's on the rubber.
The rubber.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
They actually had to tell him to chill out.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because he was like throwing pitch after pitch after pitch. Yeah, so
it's that hurry up offense.
So yeah, we swept the Rockies. We are now in second place in the league. We have.
How are the Royals doing? I haven't watched enough baseball.
Do you want me to check?
We can.
Okay, I'm gonna check. I paid attention to. I've only paid attention to the National League, so or maybe the Royals.
We might have someone who can check those types of things now.
Shut up.
Shut up. Not allowed to talk about it yet.
She doesn't have my app.
Oh, what app do you have? ESPN?
No, it's the MLB app. And plus, she wouldn't even know what to look for right now. Royals.
The Royals.
Kansas City, they're in 1, 2, 3, 4th place.
Sweet.
27 games back from first place.
Yep, sounds about right.
They're now you know why I 30 wins, 61 losses.
Now you know why I pay so much attention to baseball. Yeah.
Hey, we're pretty close. We have 46 wins and 45 losses. Oh, wow. Anyways, but yeah. So yeah, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
Go ahead with what?
Go ahead.
I'm lost.
Hey, John.
Hey, what?
Hey.
What?
You know that normally we're hey. Wait, what did I say? I don't know. I called you Jono today.
Yeah, you did. You texted me. You're like, hey, 6:30. Well, you texted me yesterday. Yeah. And you're like 6:30 still tomorrow, right? And I was like, yep. And then I got home and I was with a client, and you're like, hey, 6:30 still. And
I was just being sure.
And then you called me and I couldn't answer. And then you texted me, Jono! Exclamation point. And I was like, God damn it, Juan. What do you want?
Jono. I could have said Johnaria Shavenhill.
Dude, my mom called me that when I saw her on the 4th.
Johnaria?
Yeah. I walked up and she goes, what's up, Johnaria? And I was just like, damn it.
That's awesome.
They listened to the episode and apparently they were cackling about it.
That's great.
Yep.
But, hey.
Hey.
John.
Juan.
Usually we do this podcast alone.
We do, yes, normally.
And we can touch each other from across the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or we can...
It's more like touching your mind.
I like when you touch my mind.
There you go.
Especially when you're wrist deep in it.
Oh, God. All right.
But hey, dude.
But hey.
Hey.
We're not alone today.
We have a friend here.
Yes. 2 episodes ago, we said we needed a fact checker.
Uh-huh.
We got
And she was actually here during that episode.
Yeah. Crazily.
How crazy is that? She jumped on it pretty quick. She was like, hey, I'll be your fact checker.
Yeah,
and I was like,
we could even say, and then you came back the next week or whatever, and you're like, hey, so
yeah,
we might have found one already.
Well, I think, so when we left here,
yeah,
she was like, I'll be your fact checker. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. You know?
Yeah.
I didn't really, I was like, cool. I smell something.
Yeah. The rest of the band is cooking dinner right now. It smells real good. We're only 30 minutes into this.
Okay, so anyways,
move quicker, so an hour goes by, then I can eat.
Shut up. So then she, a couple of days later, we were hanging out, and she was like, "No, but seriously though, I'm down to be your fact checker." And I was like, "All right,
well, let's give this a shot.
Let's do it." So, we have my friend Julia now our friend. We're spending lots of time together in this
every week
little room. So, Julia.
Yes.
Welcome to the Untamed podcast.
Why, thank you.
You're part of
the team.
You're part of the team.
The 3 J's.
The family.
That's crazy. I didn't think about that till right now.
J.
Just like the ending of your this is
okay. Yeah. So do you want to say anything? Do you want to introduce yourself? Do you want to what? Yeah. People don't know you, so just
I'm the model on the stairs.
Yep.
Yes.
She is the model on the stairs.
And now the fact checker.
Yes.
On the
Make
podcast.
sure that
also
we don't say things that are incorrect because we do that a lot.
Yeah.
We talk out of our asses a lot.
You know what? Hey. It's okay. You know? Sometimes you just got to do it, you know? Send it.
Just do it.
Just
send
send it.
Dude, that smell's coming in hot.
I know. I don't know what they're cooking, but it smells bomb.
Anything else you want to share before we move on?
Thank you for letting me be here.
Yeah, of course.
Follow everyone and everything mentioned in this podcast.
Yeah. That's a good one.
There's a good one.
It is.
That's a good one. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Word. Well, she'll be making sure that we stay on task and
also
don't say dumb
we
things.
Didn't tell her before we started, but if we lose track
of the time,
you gotta mediate us. Slap John on the foot because I know he likes it so much.
I mean, maybe from you.
Dude, how many times have we touched feet on this?
On accident? A lot. It's always us moving and it's, I'm
or
sorry.
We're in a conversation just adjusting.
And just, Well, either way, with that, we should probably get to our topic at a reasonable time now.
We have a very, very solid topic today.
I'm excited about today. We were going to do it last week and we fucked up and didn't. And now it's all right to give us more time to research some stuff. And now we have someone as a fact checker in place to help us sort through this. You could call it a little bit of research that we've done.
Yep.
But Juan, you want to do? Okay.
Hey, so we're going to talk about U.F.Os, dude.
U.F.Os?
UFOs, conspiracies.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite topics.
Alien.
We could do
life.
We could do these episodes for weeks, and I'd be okay with it.
The reason why I picked this was because my dad showed me an article, and he was like, "Hey, look, UFOs are real," and I said, "Cool." So he sent me this article, and in the article was the most recent sighting of a UFO, and they say that the UFO looked like a Tic Tac, like a white Tic Tac, and it was what was it? The Navy.
Yeah. So the article that I got sent by you says it's from. So that was a bone to pick I sort of had as well about the article is who it's from. Because it's from the Daily Mail, and I don't know how accurate their reporting is.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find this other places, but it says the headline is U.S. Navy has been granted a patent on theoretical aircraft resembling recently reported UFOs that could bend the laws of physics to fly through water, air, and space. So,
not to be confused with alien UFOs.
Yes, yes. These would be UFOs that the Navy is producing, conceivably back engineered from alien UFOs.
Right, and I watched that History Channel thing that came from that article or whatever, and that was my question too. It was well, they're trying to say that it's a UFO or aliens or whatever, not necessarily aliens, but every single sighting had been by the Navy.
Yeah.
Every single one for that specific.
So there was a whole bunch of recently released documents from the Pentagon. Like declassified documents. So the UFO conspiracists and the alien theory people are going nuts right now over it.
But they're trying to play it off that it's not aliens. And they're trying to figure that shit out. But here's the thing is that if somebody that they documented that they saw the Tic Tac looking thing and then all of a sudden it took off at
crazy
I think
speeds.
it was like 3,700 miles per hour. No, yeah, miles per hour. So it was like, I think that was like 5 times faster than the speed of sound is what they said.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it possible for a human to travel that fast?
Or a human-made object.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And
like, I feel like conventional wisdom would say no,
well,
and
I don't think that
like,
the human body can even handle that.
I feel like the human body could do it. I don't know if we have the technology to.
I don't know
do
because
it,
the body
G-force
can
you'd feel
barely
on it,
handle G-forces.
Yeah.
I think they can go up to like, I think like 7 Gs would like fucking make you like implode or some shit, you know?
Well, an F1 driver in a car usually regularly will take 3 to 4 to 5 Gs around corners.
And that's intense.
Oh, yeah. It's intense as fuck.
Have you seen the training videos for that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then they have to like
they do the things with their necks and like all that kind of shit.
Dude, if they,
and, like, they
don't
do
flex
the pilots
everything
do that, like,
properly,
breathing thing.
Yeah. If they don't do everything 100% correct, like they will literally like pass out and shit themselves.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
like it'll force you
you'd
to
have to
just
think,
release all of your bowels.
I feel like if you have a vehicle of some kind that you've built that has the ability to have that kind of acceleration, then you've got to have, well, one, the vehicle, is it going to fall apart when you do that with all the drag of the atmosphere and everything?
Right.
So you've got to have a vehicle that's not only technologically advanced enough to be able to do that sort of acceleration and have that much power, but also be able to survive doing it. So I feel like if you have the vehicle that can survive doing it, you've probably got the correct like measures inside the vehicle to protect whatever it is that's driving it from experiencing those forces. You know what I mean?
Do you think that we have that?
I don't know.
Technology to be able to reach those speeds.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Also, you need to think
and that's
about
why I was questioning these like patent things, because as I read through the article, it sounded a lot like this other guy, which kind of, I don't know, it kind of made my head do some circles for a second, but.
Well, it's also like, because they're saying air and water. They had sightings in water too. And
so
like
then it becomes
the power
a
you would
UFO,
have to,
technically.
The power that you would have to produce to go that fast, the same speeds in water, has to be a lot.
Yeah, because the drag you're getting off of the water is going to be crazy.
And I think they said that like when it was traveling underwater, it was actually going like 7 times faster than the speed of sound.
They also disclose in the very beginning of the article, though, that this is all theoretical.
So it's all like like.
I mean, it is theoretical, and also they're using what they say a quantum bubble to travel, and they're kind of using like a
quantum field
tunnel. It's creating a tunnel, and I was actually looking up on like quantum entanglement and stuff like that too. And when the particles become entangled with each other, then essentially it could actually create a small wormhole that can go through a barrier. So like I guess they were testing this with proton cannons and stuff like that, and then they would bounce them off of mirrors, and then like everything was like going like in its own path. And then when the particles were going fast enough and they were entangling with each other, they added a barrier, like a little wall instead of another mirror in front of the path, the path, and essentially it made its way through the barrier and was still finishing its path.
Interesting.
I didn't get too much into it on like how that actually works.
Right.
Because they say that there's two different
what were they
waves.
Protons?
Protons.
Okay.
They started with lasers.
Yeah.
And then they went up to protons.
Well, have you ever seen the experiment where they're like, when they talk about, it's the two-slit experiment, where you would think that if you shined, so like if you have a slit in a piece of paper and you shine a light through it, it looks like that shape on the wall behind it.
Mm-hmm. God bless you, John.
Thank you. Sorry.
Wow.
But if you take two slits of paper, you would expect to see the same two slits behind it. But what you actually see is like a wave form on the back. Because it's technically a wave. It's a particle and a wave, depending on how you're observing it. So when you send it through there, you get this like even distribution, or not even, but you get this distribution across of what it would look like.
It's called an interference pattern.
So I don't know if that has anything to do with that or not.
They also use that theory, I guess, in electrical circuits.
Yeah.
So like, let's say like the wave pattern. So like, let's say the electricity in your house.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
It's alternating current.
Alternating current.
Yes.
So like that current is going up and down, up and down, up and down. And there's that line that it's passing through.
Right. There's zero.
Yeah. But also, you know, like they use that in like 3-phase motors and stuff to kind of like to describe the magnetic field, and they use like the waves like that too. And I guess the magnetic field was like, that's how they kind of described how the quantum tunnels are generated through a magnetic field of the entangled particles.
Weird.
You know what I'm saying?
Kind of, but not really.
But like I didn't go I'm not trying to be a fucking quantum physicist, so
yeah.
I wasn't getting like too deep into it, and I was like, also Star Trek, you know what I mean?
Also gotta watch Star Trek.
But after doing that research, I started watching Star Trek, and it was pretty cool.
Some of this stuff that was reminding me, so when I was reading through this article about this patent, can't remember where I saw it in here. I was looking up the guy who actually like, the engineer who's actually the patent is credited to. So I wanted to find more information about him.
Well,
because I want to know if it's credible.
Well, before you get to that article, though, I have a question, because like I don't know how you would feel about this, but with UFOs, when it comes to UFOs, my question is like, why isn't there anything that's more solid? You know what I mean? Like
more solid evidence?
There's like nothing more recent. There's nothing, because now that we have all of this technology that we can capture, it's always, you see videos, you see all this like proof, but it's all like shitty quality. It's fucking, you know, taken in the 90s.
So some would argue that they came and then they left.
What?
And like the aliens, right? They came and visited our planet and then they left. Now they're no longer visiting us right now. That's why you don't have any modern proof of it, because they were hanging around for a little bit studying the humans or whatever. Also, you would argue that, well, there's two things. One, would an alien even be like interested in our planet? Like I feel like it's much like if you would walk by an anthill, you have no concern with the day-to-day life of those ants. Right?
I would, yeah.
So that could be one reason. I think it's called the Fermi paradox, which is why we don't, like, where are all the other aliens? If there's so much other life in the universe, why don't we see any of them? One of them is that might be the case, that we're much like ants and we think we're intelligent, but we're not at all. Because if you can build a spaceship to get to our planet, like that's way beyond where we are.
Right.
Also, it might be that the aliens blow them, like much like our culture, we might blow ourselves up. Maybe all the aliens blow up and they can't reach us. But the big question is why don't we see a bunch of other aliens? And then some people would say, well, you do, but I don't know if they would be interested in us at all. So maybe the aliens came by, saw us, and were like, fuck those guys, and then left. But it also, like, I don't know if you watch Ancient Aliens at all. I fucking love that show. It says that human civilization started with alien or extraterrestrial help, and now they're gone.
The ancient Egyptian culture is the biggest example of that.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So it says that basically, humans
Is
started.
That on Netflix?
It's not on Netflix. It's on Hulu.
Oh,
yes. It's really. It comes from History Channel, but they stream on Hulu. It's really good. I have a season on DVD if you want to watch it.
Sure, I'll watch that before Game of Thrones.
Do it.
Also, every single sighting is of a UFO is different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like
there's triangle, there's tic tac, these circles.
Yeah.
A saucer.
Yeah.
A saucer, a light, like
right.
And also when it comes to the government, supposedly if we're getting all these sightings and stuff, why is it such a big deal to keep it under wraps when they don't want to scare people or get people thinking? But I think it's making it worse to where people are going to...
Well, if the government came out and said, we have contact with an extraterrestrial life form, we've had contact with them for years, they're helping us do this and this, I feel like it would be such a crazy thing for so many people that they wouldn't be able to handle it, because you got to think that rewrites a lot of history. It changes so many people's perception about the universe and about religion, and it would definitely create chaos. There would be a lot of people who didn't know how to handle themselves, I think. And so I think that's one of the things.
Like Mars attacks.
I also think that if you are the U.S. government, right, and you have connection to an alien force, right, why would you want, from a military perspective, why would you want to let all of your other enemies know that you have this contact and these it's basically like an ace in their sleeve to be yo, we've got all this technology that we're developing, and you have no idea how we're doing it, and we're able to do it so quickly and all this stuff. It's them basically not showing all their cards if they do that. But on the other side of that, why would an alien species be oh, we're going to help the U.S. or we're going to help Russia? Why are they going to care at all? They're not.
Right.
So that's why I'm always if the government's covering anything up, it's nothing significant in the fact that it might just be that they have evidence of a UFO and they've got, down spaceships or whatever. If that's a thing, sure. But I doubt that they have ties to an alien species,
right? Because they're not going to see us as a country; they're going to see us as humans.
As humans, yeah. They're also going to probably see us as idiots.
Also, depending on where they come from, they can't even Earth. Well, this is not a fact, but Earth is as far as we know, the only civilized planet in the area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where are they coming from to where, they can even handle being here on Earth? Because let's say
there's tons of Earth-like planets. There's a whole
but not in our solar system.
Not in our solar system, but in our galaxy easily.
Exactly. So how far would they have to travel?
But exactly
to get to Earth.
To interstellar travel is insane. To be able to travel that way would either take a very long time, or you'd have to have the technology in order to make
to go fast
enough. Yeah. Or to cut, like you said with a wormhole, to cut some of that space out and be able to travel a very far distance in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Or slow, if you're going super fast and time slows for you. So if you're going that fast over a long distance, it's not going to feel like a long time for you, but everywhere else is going to feel like it was a long time.
So remember I was talking about warp speed and being a nerd earlier?
Yes.
So I
warp
actually
speed
did
on Star Trek?
Yes. But, these people actually do the math and stuff, and they calculate. I found a chart and they calculate. So the speed, which is standard, and then it's a quarter light speed, and then warp speed 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10. And then they break it down by the science that they explain in the show, and then they do the math, and then they're okay, this, and this. So it's they have all the speeds, the kilometers per hour, the number of times of speed of light, the time to travel across the sector, which is 20 light years. And just like whatever notes that they wanted to add. So like, let's say you do warp 1, that's 1 time the speed of light, and it will take 80 years to get 20 light years.
Yeah.
But like the faster that you go, obviously, like the standard cruising speed is warp 5, and that's 230 billion kilometers per hour, and it'll take 1 month to go 20 light years.
Yeah. So that's faster than the speed of light.
Yeah.
Because the speed of light
is 5 times faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, so speed of light every year it's going to take it would take a light year's a distance in space.
It's 214 times the speed of light. Is warp 5.
Yeah. So that's and what that is it's completely science fiction because we can't go past
it is science fiction, but it's also like it's a theory of the speed. That's like the actual math of what they...
to go that fast and travel that fast, you'd have to be going...
how far you can travel.
Yeah. Because the speed of light
we don't have theories like that, really. Like...
Well, because you can't break the speed of light.
Right. No, I agree with that.
It's as you move closer to the speed of light, time slows down for you, so the speed you're traveling at technically goes slower.
So that's...
So no matter how close you get to it, the universe and physics is always going to keep you behind it. It's a speed limit.
Well, that's just why I thought to bring it up because we don't have anything to go off of. So like, what do we do? We go off of something that's fiction. Oh, what if this was real? You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think it's still interesting and intriguing to think about it like that, and how much time that the writers of the show actually put into it. This space travel, you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
And I just love Star Trek. Literally watching it again for like the 8th time. Did you like the text I sent you about watching The Office?
Yes.
And I'm like, fucking loser.
Yeah, fuck you.
Anyways.
Anyway, I'm trying to find this place in this article. This guy in this patent, one of the things he talks about gravity and like using it as a sense of propulsion or something. All I could think of was it was reminding me of that guy Bob Lazar. Do you know who that is?
No.
Okay, so there's a documentary currently on Netflix about him, and then also he just went on to Joe Rogan's podcast, which is a very, very interesting podcast. But he originally came out back in like the 80s and said that he graduated from MIT, says that he worked at Los Alamos research facility and then worked at Area 51 in a sector called S4. And he worked on the propulsion systems of UFOs for the U.S. government. He's come out and said that he does all of this stuff. The government has supposedly they're trying to discredit him. MIT says that he never went there. Los Alamos says that he never worked there, even though he has physical evidence of him working there in the form of a newspaper article that was put out about him working there, because he originally put like a jet engine on the back of a Honda.
Yeah.
And he did this like crazy stuff. And so he thinks that's why he got approached to work on propulsion systems for UFOs.
Wow.
So Los Alamos says he never worked there. The government denies that S4 exists or anything like that. But supposedly he was working on trying to reverse engineer these things. And one of the things that it seemed that the UFOs used were some way to alter gravity of some kind. So that, when I read that in that article, it immediately reminded me of what he was saying in his thing. And it's like, there's really no way that we're like able to prove what he's saying. It's what you believe him or you don't, but it's this kind of weird thing where you're like, well, Los Alamos is obviously trying to discredit him, but he has proof that he worked there.
Yeah.
So just that alone says something strange about the situation, that they're trying to cover it up. Like, why would you if he was crazy? Like, you just be like, we hired him, he was nuts.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Did they say how he was altering gravity?
No, he said that he couldn't figure. That was the whole thing. They couldn't figure it out as they were trying to reverse engineer these UFOs. And he said that in this big hangar bay thing in this facility, they had 9 different UFO shapes, like 9 different objects that were supposedly all from alien in origin, and they had teams working on different pieces of it. But he was only allowed to work on specific section. He was only supposed to work on the propulsion from this one thing. Oh, and that was his job, him and another guy, and they just had to, they were trying to reverse engineer this, and they never figured it out while he was there. But that was 35 years ago.
When you brought up, like putting the rocket on the back of the Honda, I remember when I was going through that one UFO sighting and other UFO sightings is every time they try to break it down and try to figure out what it is, or how it goes that fast, or how it flies so fast, they say that even on their infrared cameras and other different cameras that they're trying to use to capture it, there was no sign of any heat sources or engines or anything making it move. Right. And it could also move forward, backwards.
Right, seemingly without, it can change its acceleration incredibly quickly. As opposed to if you're in a car and you brake, you're flying really fast, you brake, it still takes you a while to slow down.
Have you seen the one?
They seem to just move super freely.
Have you seen the footage that is from the International Space Station? It's something entering our orbit.
Seen that, yeah.
And then I guess supposedly the International Space Station is connected to a missile or something, so that if something enters our orbit that we don't know of, that supposedly it shoots that thing. So in the video, you can see this thing. It's not clear what it is.
Yeah.
It's just like a speck on the video, and there's our orbit. It's entering our orbit, and it's coming in, and then all of a sudden it stops. Goes backwards, and then this missile or rocket or whatever they're using to shoot at it, literally goes right where it was at, right where it stopped, and it takes off.
Weird.
And they're
that one.
And they're oh, maybe some people are trying to debunk it to be a rock or a meteor or something, but meteors cannot go backwards.
No, not like
leaving our atmosphere, So, or they can't stop and then go.
Right, correct. Unless they're hit by something. Unless something changes its
course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Weird.
Physics. Science.
The other thing, though, is with our technology, we've only just barely recently, in the past 20, 15 years, been able to get an actual clear image of a star.
Right. It's true, yeah.
So how do we know whether or not you're using an infrared camera? How do you know that you're even able to pick up a clear image of something like that?
Yeah.
Well,
period.
When they were using the cameras, it was the sighting that they had here when the planes were flying literally alongside of this white tic tac thingy.
Yeah. Well, the thing I think that kind of it kind of reminds me of we've sent out radio pings and things like that, and we have the Voyagers going out there, but even if there are other life forms out there, right? Maybe communicating via radio wave, or what we're doing now, the technology that we have is just a small blip in the technological evolution of something. So we could be getting awashed with signals, but we just don't understand how to listen to them yet. It'd be like if you had a TV signal that you were shooting at a town from the Middle Ages, they would have no idea that it's even there because there's no way for them to perceive it yet. They don't have the technology to understand it. So maybe us sending these signals, or even us looking, using our cameras and our imaging, maybe they aren't advanced enough to pick up whatever it is that.
Also, if there's, with the alien life forms to be able to travel through space and be so much more advanced than Earth, how, I wonder how they got to that point. You know what I mean? Because everybody starts in somewhere.
Yeah.
And what is the environment in their planet that makes them able to reach that level?
I think the big thing is time.
They have only been on Earth for such a small amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We've only been here for... I think the universe is 14 billion years old, around 14.5 billion years old. And our solar system formed about 4.5 billion years ago. So it's a really small amount of time compared to the actual amount of time that the universe has been in existence. Granted, you'd have a whole bunch of like high energy time at the beginning if the Big Bang is what it was, like the start of the universe.
Right.
But I don't know. I was listening to a different guy speak the other day, and he was talking about how he thinks that relativity isn't quite finished because it predicts the singularity point.
Right.
And the Schwarz, I can't remember his name.
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No. The guy who originally came up and found the point of a singularity in Einstein's theories.
Yeah.
It's the Schwarz something radius. But either way, Einstein's theories predict the singularity, including like the Big Bang.
Yeah.
So it might not have started that way. It might have started. I mean, it's an accepted form of creation at this point, but we don't really know. But either way, even if it did happen that way, you'd have that much. There's been probably 12 billion years of time when planets have been here. So you got to think, if there was a civilization that originally formed 12 billion years ago, they've had an extra 8 billion years up on us or something. Like,
you really think that's the sole factor, though? Is just the time?
The time. With enough time, I think that anything's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a matter. The reason that like the laws of physics are the way they are in our universe is because if they weren't, then we wouldn't be able to be here. But from the point of creation, you have to think eventually humans were going to form because all the conditions, all the laws of physics are set up in a way that allow us to live here. So with enough time, humans were going to eventually get here. But probably other life forms as well. So if they got there, if they evolved first on a different planet, then they've had that much more time to figure things out.
Yeah.
I don't know, though.
I think it makes sense. I mean, look how far technology has come just in the past 15 years.
It's true. And science has only been around for like 400 and 450 years since like Galileo was looking at telescopes and like the scientific method has taken us so far in a very short period of time compared to human existence.
Right.
Since we've started studying science, we've come so far. And that's why, like, if you look at technology development, it's like exponential. It just like keeps getting faster and faster and faster. Like, they say you should be rebuilding. If you really want to have like a tip-top shaped computer, you should rebuild it every 2 years. And I'm sure it's going to get even crazier. Like,
right.
But I think if there's an alien civilization that has been around for that long.
But you don't think that it could also be like, like the way they handle their technology and the way that they use it, and like, I guess the way they think as their own civilization, and the way that they use their technology, and how like we have no access to any of our big top of the line technology that they're, you know what I mean, that supposedly everybody doesn't have access to that. Everybody doesn't understand it, you know what I mean? And like, what if aliens, like aliens, it just sounds weird saying that, but like, what if the aliens, like, they process these things differently, and what if they're all like, what if they are all on the same page?
Like, all the aliens are on the same page?
Everybody.
Like a hive?
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible. Yeah. Well, like, maybe humans will get to a point where evolved enough and our brains work in a certain way, or we communicate better, or whatever it is, that they're like, welcome to the hive.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't have faith in humans like that.
I don't know. I
really don't.
I think the best of us, but there's, I don't know. You look at the current leaders of the world, and it's rather difficult to have that. But I don't know. Even if we don't, though, it's a very big possibility.
Yeah.
One of the things I thought about too was that, like, if humans have humans have always been like seeing UFOs. Like, you look at ancient like paintings and shit, and they think that they see it, but like, we seem to have a crazy spark of UFO interaction during the Cold War, and it's like maybe they're like making sure that we don't fuck things up with nuclear weapons, or like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I don't know, they could be like, you're not allowed to like damage the planet, you know? Maybe there's like a steward. Okay, I just remembered this right now. There's a crazy message that was broadcast on European television a long time ago in like the 70s or the 80s, and I can't remember. It got like taken over. The broadcast did, and it's this like supposedly this alien speaking to like the people of Europe or something. It's real weird. Oh, I don't know if I can find it. I watched on an episode of Ancient Aliens.
I'm gonna have to check out that show.
It's really cool.
Do you think it's on Amazon Prime?
I think it is on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you have to pay extra to watch it.
Because I don't have Hulu.
Oh, well, I hate how on Prime you have to pay extra to watch some shows.
I just don't watch them. You know? You just don't.
Don't.
Hey, don't watch it.
Don't.
You know?
I feel you.
Or pay it.
Or pay it. That's funny.
Yeah, so you had more articles?
I did. Well, I had the Bob Lazar thing. I had he had the article about the little, so a couple things that have come out since then. His oh my goodness.
Jonathan,
my ringer's still
Haven
on.
Hill.
The little hand thing. It's a hand reader that he said. Not for those of you who can't see, Julia currently has a tiny hand on her finger.
There's so many weird coincidences today.
Right? So there's this
little hand thing.
There's this hand scanner that Bob Lazar said existed that he used to get in past security. And a bunch of people said he was making it up. It doesn't exist. And finally, someone was able to get pictures of this thing, and Los Alamos conceded and said, yeah, they're real. They like scan your hand and your size of it as like your password to get into the building.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to scoot over.
Let me see. So that's what am I looking at here? That's the scanner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he said that he said that this is how he got in and out of Los Alamos. And a bunch of people basically said that they didn't exist. It was making it up. So that's
pretty much proof that he was.
It's proof, yeah, that like it's another piece of his story that was proven. So it's like, if that's real, what else about his story could potentially
be true,
right? There was that thing, and then the big thing he talks about is in the propulsion systems, they use this thing called element 115, which is a nuclear or a radioactive element, of like heavy element, close to uranium on the table.
Yeah.
And supposedly it was used in the propulsion systems of these UFOs. And that's like, I don't know, that's kind of the extent that I understood about this. And like, it was a big thing because a lot of scientists at the time were then saying like, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Now we know it exists. Like a bunch of these things that like have come out since he's been saying all this stuff have started to prove pieces of his story.
Yeah.
So when I saw the connection I was making was between the article that you sent me about this patent.
Right.
Some of these things lined up with what Bob Lazar was saying, even if in a different way. So it's like, if this team has been reverse engineering this for the past 30, 40 years, maybe they actually made a breakthrough. And some of these things are now being used in Navy developmental stuff or whatever it might be.
But every single one of their breakthroughs, though, have been through the Navy.
Right.
So that makes me question whether or not all this evidence has been planted by the Navy.
Right. That makes sense.
To create, I don't know, controversy or, I don't know, for whatever they will gain out of it, you know?
No, I feel you.
Did you see that Tom DeLonge was a part of that team?
Yeah, dude. He talks a lot about that kind of stuff.
Supposedly, that's the reason why he left Blink-182.
He left Blink-182, yeah.
And that blows my fucking mind.
I think he made a book or something too. I can't remember, but he supposedly, left Blink-182 to go work for the government or something. And now he is an alien.
And a lot of people didn't believe him.
Yeah.
And he was actually on that show.
On the
he was on that History Channel show, and he joined the team.
That's researching, or
that's researching, and it's like an old Navy pilot. It's Tom DeLonge, a fucking lead singer of a band.
Yeah,
and then it's the old it's a former
pilot.
Fucking bitch, dude. The former assistant to the
regional manager.
Nope. Assistant to the Secretary of Defense or something like that.
Okay, got you. So some high up government worker or something. Interesting. And that's an odd team to put together.
Right? That guy said that he went to go look at the old documents from the reports and stuff from the people who saw these UFO sightings and stuff. And he has the highest, he can get into those
the highest clearance
files. And supposedly every time that it was dated that somebody saw something, all those files from that entire day were gone. And they had zero access to any hard
evidence of anything,
and they had to go off the word of
people,
whoever was coming out to say it.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing. It might be harder now, or it might be easier now, but people have been getting erased from evidence gets erased all the time.
Yeah.
Even in Cold War Russia, they were erasing people, sending them off to the gulag camps and just erasing them from history. If you were to say something or to, expose something of, UFO stuff or whatever it might be, that evidence could probably just so easily just be, whitewashed away.
Yeah.
And people could be whitewashed away even.
Right.
I don't know, all those records I feel couldn't, with the amount of power that exists up at the top, you could really easily just be it never fucking happened.
Snap your fingers and it's gone.
Yeah. It never happened. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Wait, who?
That guy's crazy.
Hey.
That guy never even existed. Who the fuck?
Who is John?
I don't know. Now you know what happened to me if I disappear between this and the next episode.
The podcast is going to be over. All three of us are just going to be erased.
Just gone.
And then they're going to go and erase everybody's memories so that we never even existed.
Yeah, they're going to pull it from Apple, pull it from everything.
Ooh.
My computer's going to be gone. It's going to be on Mars.
Everything is going to be gone on Mars.
I think
it's just going to be floating in space.
Just going to just send it out there.
3 billion years later, an alien discovers it.
Right, and finds his podcast on there. It's oh my God, they were right.
They just start dusting off this hard drive.
Right. What is this ancient piece of technology?
We found files on it.
The word I was looking for earlier is the Schwarzschild radius. It is the point of a black hole where once something goes, it's also known as the event horizon. When something goes past it, nothing comes back out. That's what I was looking for earlier.
I like black holes.
There's a theory that black holes don't exist, and I am actually on top of that one.
That's the guy that I was listening to yesterday, the mathematician, Eric Weinstein. He was talking about how he doesn't think that relativity is finished because it creates those singularities, like a black hole or the singularity that was the Big Bang. He thinks that we're missing a big piece because of that reason, and it shouldn't predict the singularity, which I don't know. It seems but all the evidence for black holes is growing. Like,
right,
when a star collapses, the evidence of what is left behind, or there's I actually just watched a documentary on black holes 2 days ago from Nova, and they talk about Cygnus X1, I believe is what it is. It is the first proof that we have of a black hole in space.
Yeah.
Is it just photo proof, though?
So he's taken data of this star that seems to be, it looks like, so what they were doing is looking for stars that behave as if they're binary stars, but they don't have a binary counterpart. So with with all of the data that they've taken in, this star seems to be orbiting around a center point where there's nothing there, and it's behaving like a binary system, and the other star basically is invisible. And they've calculated that the other star should have the mass of 15, it's a 15 solar masses, so 15 times our sun, which would most likely have to be a black hole if it's invisible, but weighs that much.
Right.
And this other star is rotating around it, like they're rotating together.
Mm-hmm.
So what other thing could that be other than maybe a black hole?
A wormhole.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
I mean, because what we don't know is the thing.
My thing is, black holes could be a thing.
Right.
But if we have not been able to put something through it or inside of it or travel through one, how do we know that there's nothing coming out the other end?
Right. No, and I agree with that. But it's basically this incredibly massive thing that we don't know what it is what it is. It's like it's a confusing, like, mind-boggling.
There's also a theory that
fucking object that we don't know what they do.
There's also a theory that if you enter a black hole, that you're not actually going through it. It's actually altering your reality to where you're just not there anymore.
Right.
So like you're not actually going through something. You enter the realm of everything going on in this black hole.
Right.
And you just stay there.
Right.
And then you're not necessarily gone, but
you're basically out of like the black hole in theory is the fabric of space-time. You have a point that's so dense because anything bends space-time. Like the sun is bending it. That's what's creating gravity.
Mm-hmm.
So the black hole is a point that's so heavy that it's bent the space-time enough that when you fall into it, it's a 3D thing, but when you fall into this hole...
Like, they call it the fabric of space-time because it acts like a fabric, and all of the planets and whatever
you're bending it,
has a weight to it.
Yeah.
Well, they also they compared this theory to the Bermuda Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that goes into the Bermuda Triangle doesn't come out.
Not anything. No. There's things.
I'm just saying that's what they're saying. No, I feel you.
It's
like that is, you're not actually gone. You haven't gone anywhere, but nobody can find you, and you can't find your way back out. And that's probably because I don't remember the exact word that they use, but it's like you get into like this certain state where your reality doesn't exist anymore, and that's why you don't leave. That's why you
So like because of how much gravity there is near a black hole, your reality would definitely be changing. Like your time would slow incredibly. It would stretch you
like spaghetti. Theoretically, if you could
fall
live
into
through
one,
it and fall into it and watch yourself.
Hey, we talked about that on my old podcast.
You would see your
Spaghettification.
Yes.
Start going into it.
Yeah. You would like from the outside, it would look like your time is so slow that like you would just be stuck on the edge of it.
Yeah.
Like, and after so long, like time for you would look like fine, but it would actually be way, way slow. That's like why in that movie Interstellar, when they go to the planet that's near the black hole, their time seems normal, but 1 hour there has been like 7 years on the Earth.
That movie is fucking brilliant, dude.
Oh yeah, I love it. But like going towards a black hole, your time would get just slower and slower and slower until eventually you would pass that event horizon, you disappear. From that point on, theory is all that we have. If you're going, theoretically, if you're going to a super dense point, your particles would just start ripping apart until you're just like sand of it'd be like pouring sand, but it'd be all your fundamental particles just going towards this singularity.
Right.
But we have no idea what the hell actually happens. It's all speculation at this point and theory, but we haven't actually been to a black hole. Just like there's theory that there's the supermassive black holes in the center of
every
galaxy. Yeah. But there's a huge problem with that one too. Because how did they get that big?
There's a huge problem with a lot of things.
There's a huge problem with a lot of shit. We don't know. That's what we have to accept.
Yeah.
Which I believe is easier for some than others, but...
Wow.
I don't know.
We're getting up there.
In our time?
In our time.
Yep.
That does not slow down.
No, it keeps going.
It keeps going.
Dude, remember earlier when you're like, damn, that food smells good? And then I was like, if only an hour could go by real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, now we're here, and it doesn't seem like it was an hour. I love that topic of aliens. We can talk about it all day.
I do too.
All day.
I like, you know what? Like I like questioning it, you know? Like, not to say that I don't believe, not to say that I don't want to like think my own things, but I like to know what other people think. You know what I mean? Because it's like, we don't have hard facts,
hard proof, yeah.
or evidence. And, you know, it's interesting to see how other people react or think or, you know, or if somebody has done their research or even if it's just what they believe, you know, like I question everything, you know.
That's a good way to live, to question everything, I think.
Question myself more than half the time.
And evolve.
Agreed. That's how we move forward.
I'm a level 5 mutant.
A mutant?
I'm a mutant. I've reached full potential. I've accessed every part of my brain.
Skill up.
Skill up.
Always at 100. All your skills.
Skill level 9,000. All right, John.
It's like Hey.
Stop talking.
I had to burp. That's why I moved away. Came back.
I think it's time, dude.
You think it's time?
Yeah.
All right. We can wrap it up. I like how you spilled a little bit of that water down your chin and you gave 0 fucks about it.
Yeah. So, go ahead and do your thing, John.
Word. Well, if you enjoyed today's conversation, thanks for listening. I'm glad you made it this far. We talked about some weird shit.
We did.
I don't know what we're going to talk about next week. We might not even pick a topic.
We'll have to figure it out.
We'll have to figure it out, and hopefully you'll be here to listen to it. Our podcast is now available on Apple Podcasts. It's available on SoundCloud. You can go to YouTube and listen to it. You can submit questions or comments or concerns or whatever they may be. Yell at us if you think we're wrong or if you think we're right at TheUntamedPodcast.Wild at gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know what you think. And go visit us on Facebook at The Untamed Podcast. Go follow us on Instagram at The Untamed Podcast. You can follow myself, John_Human Sounds on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all the good things. My band that I play in Desert Fish at Desert Fish Band, and I know Juan has a couple of links he wants to share with you.
You can follow me, my Instagram, my photography, all that at Juanold, JUANALD.
There it is.
That's all I'm gonna plug today. Julia, do you want to plug anything? Any websites? Any
everything they already said times 2.
Wonderful.
And then if you want, you can follow.
You don't need any more.
I don't, you know. But if you did, it's Experavit with 2 X's. That's EXXSPIRIVIT.
Or how about just go to my Instagram and find her there?
That too.
Off
She
of the
is
photos.
all over it.
2 birds with 1 stone.
It's
There you
like
go.
almost her Instagram at this point, Anyways.
Well, yeah, go follow everything, and hopefully we'll talk to you again next week if you're wanting to listen in.
Thank you for listening to the Untamed podcast. I'm Juan.
And I'm John.
And hey, we'll talk to you next time.